Victor Wembanyama is one of the best prospects the NBA has ever seen. Despite being just 20 years old, he is performing like one of the top players in the NBA, which is not normal for a rookie. Wemby's ability to handle the ball and shoot from distance is exciting because 7-footers usually don't have these skills. However, the best part of his game right now is actually his defense. Let's dive in and see what makes him such a dominant defender and why he's already a Defensive Player of the Year candidate as a 20-year-old rookie. Victor Wembanyama's best skill as a defender is his ability to protect the rim, which should come as no surprise because he is 7'4" with an 8-foot wingspan, and he knows how to use his ridiculous frame to his advantage. On this play versus the Raptors are going to be running double screens above the 3-point line, and right here both players are going to slip. Scottie Barnes fades to the 3-point line, and Jakob Poeltl is going to drive towards the basket. And let's see what the ball handler does. He gets into the paint, and at this moment, Wemby is in a pretty difficult spot because he's got to stop the ball handler from getting to the basket, but he also has to stop a pass from getting to Jakob Poeltl for an easy 2 points. The ball handler ends up picking the ball up right here, and he's going to throw the ball to Poeltl, but look what Wemby is able to do. He's able to recover, he moves over to where Poeltl is, and he erases the shot. Right here we have an out of bounds play versus the Raptors, and right here RJ Barrett is going to roll towards the basket, and I think most centers wouldn't be able to get to this shot, especially because RJ Barrett is going to go up on the left side of the basket, but Wemby is able to rotate, he leaves Jakob Poeltl, and he's able to get a block. Now this play right here is ridiculous from Wemby. The Mavericks, they're going to run double screens for Josh Green, and the Spurs are in drop coverage. What they're trying to do here is they're trying to force Josh Green to take a pull-up mid-range jumper, which isn't an efficient shot, and he does that. But look what Wemby does. He blocks the shot. Being able to block a mid-range jumper is not normal. That doesn't happen very often. Now the Mavs do grab this offensive rebound and they put up a 3, but they're going to miss it, and that is just a wild play. Here's another crazy play from Wemby against the Mavs. Right here, the Spurs miss this shot. The Mavericks grab the rebound. They're in transition. And look at this moment. Right here, the Mavericks have a great opportunity for a lob. There's one defender in front of Luka. There's no one around the basket. There's a lot of space in the paint. And so Luka is going to throw the ball to PJ Washington for an alley-oop. And this should be an easy 2 points for the Mavericks because Wemby isn't in position to block a shot right here. There's one defender in between Luka and the basket. Now, the pass is a little bit off, or maybe perhaps PJ Washington misplays it, but look at what Wemby is able to do. He gets in position to block the lob. That is nuts. Here's a chart that shows where all centers and power forwards with at least 1,000 minutes played this season rank in blocks and rim contests per 75 possessions. As you can see, Victor Wembanyama is at the top right corner of the chart, meaning he has been one of the most productive rim protectors in the entire league. One thing that makes Wemby such a dominant rim protector is his ability to recover and rotate when he's out of position. Right here, PJ Washington has a mismatch as Tre Jones is coming out to defend him here. He's going to drive towards the basket, pushes Tre Jones out of the way, and right here, Wemby is going to try to block this shot. That leaves Dwight Powell with only Tre Jones in between him and the basket. He should be able to either score or possibly draw a foul here, but look, Wemby is able to recover and he erases the shot. On this play, Bruce Brown has the ball on the wing. Scottie Barnes is going to act like he's setting a screen. Instead, he slips and he is open. Now this Spurs defender under the basket does slow him down a bit, but he's still in a great position to score an easy 2 points at the basket. However, Wemby is so athletic that he is able to recover for an insane block. Another area where Victor Wembanyama shines is his ability to disrupt passing lanes and rack up steals and deflections. This is just another area in which his length comes in handy very often. On this play, the Mavericks are kind of in transition. They run a very high pick and roll almost at half court. Luka comes off the screen here. He's going to dribble inside the 3-point line, and he kind of slows down a bit once he gets inside the 3-point line, trying to draw Wemby out to open up a lob opportunity at the basket. Now Wemby comes out a little bit, tries to swat the ball here, but misses. And this should be an easy lob. Against other teams with centers who aren't as big and athletic as Wemby, this would probably be a fairly easy lob. But Wemby is huge, he is athletic, and his recovery ability is so special that he's able to swat the alley-oop away, and this opens up a lob on the other end for the Spurs. Right here, Scottie Barnes has the ball in the paint, and look, Jakob Poeltl is cutting behind him, and Poeltl has a lane to attack the basket if Scottie Barnes is able to hit him with a pass, and Scottie Barnes sees that, and he's going to try to get the ball to Poeltl, but Wemby uses his length to disrupt the pass, and this leads to points in the other direction for the Spurs. On this play, the Raptors set a very high screen for Immanuel Quickley. This gets Quickley in isolation against Wemby, and this should be a mismatch, and Quickley is going to try to take advantage of that. It should be a mismatch because you have a small guard being defended by a very tall center, but Wemby's mobile, and he has extremely long arms, so he's able to strip the ball away and end the possession immediately. Right here, the Spurs are going to miss this layup at the basket. Now the Nuggets are in transition, and look right here, Nikola Jokic, one of the best passers ever, wants to hit his teammate number 8 Peyton Watson in the middle of the floor, but there's somebody in his way, Wemby, and because Wemby is so big and athletic, Jokic kinda hesitates here, and Wemby is able to snatch the pass out of thin air. An underrated skill that Wemby has is the ability to wreak havoc by blocking shots and generating steals without fouling, and he does that here on this play versus the Nuggets. Right here, Peyton Watson is going to grab the rebound, attack the basket, and look at what Wemby does. He jumps straight up, and he doesn't swing his arms down, so he's able to force a miss, and the refs do not call a foul. Here's a chart similar to the one we looked at earlier, which shows us how many steals and deflections each center and power forward has generated per 75 possessions. Once again, Wembanyama is in the top right corner, making him one of the more productive big men in the NBA in terms of disrupting passing lanes and taking the ball from ball handlers. A second ago, I mentioned that Wemby is great at racking up blocks and steals without committing fouls, and the data proves this, as he and Anthony Davis are the only centers who are averaging at least 2.5 blocks and 1 steal per game, while committing 2.5 or fewer fouls per game. This is an underrated skill, and Wemby is already one of the best centers in the league at it. Victor Wembanyama has the ability to take over games defensively, which is not normal. We don't see many players who are able to dominate games on this end of the floor. However, some of the things that make Wemby so great as a defender, like his aggressiveness and hunting for blocks, get him in trouble sometimes. On this play, Kelly Olynyk is setting a screen for Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown goes around the pick, drives towards the basket. Right here, he is surrounded by 2 Spurs defenders, so he kicks the ball out back to Kelly Olynyk. Wemby goes out for the closeout. Olynyk drives, and right here, Olynyk is going to pump fake. That gets Wemby off the ground because Wemby is aggressive, he's trying to get a block or a contest here, and that ends up giving Olynyk a wide open shot around the basket. Here's an example of Wemby giving up an easy rebound, which happens from time to time. On this play, RJ Barrett's going to get the ball, he attacks the basket, and look, Wemby rotates to try to block or contest a shot, but he doesn't box out Jakob Poeltl, leaving him open around the basket. RJ Barrett's going to miss his shot, and because Wemby did not box out Jakob Poeltl, Poeltl is in a great position for a putback. This is the last play we're going to take a look at, and this is a good example of Wemby just being a little too aggressive on a closeout. Right here, Jokic has the ball, he's posting up, he's going to throw this out to Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, KCP is going to swing the ball to Michael Porter Jr., and he's open, and Wemby is closing out, so he's going to hit a sidestep, and that's an open 3. Now that we've broken down Victor Wembanyama's strengths and weaknesses as a defender, let's take a look at some data and see just how impactful he's been on defense this season. Here is the Spurs' defensive rating when Wemby is on the floor versus when he is off the floor. When he is on the floor, they give up 114.6 points per 100 possessions, which is slightly above average efficiency. However, when he steps off the floor, the Spurs' defensive rating takes a nosedive and falls 8 points to 122.6, which would be the worst defense in the NBA in 2024. That kind of defensive impact is insane, and not what you would expect to see from a rookie center who is anchoring his team's defense. Now let's see where he ranks in catch-all metrics that try to measure how many points a player's defense is worth per 100 possessions. These metrics are not perfect and should not be taken at face value, but Victor Wembanyama already ranks top 10 in defensive box plus minus, defensive estimated plus minus, and defensive LeBron. I'm sorry if this is a little too nerdy for you, but the stat nerds out there will understand how incredible this is. Victor Wembanyama is already a game-changing defender. I thought he was a great rim protector overseas prior to joining the NBA, but he's even better at protecting the basket than I thought he would be. Of course, being 7'4" and having an 8-foot wingspan is going to help you block shots, but Wemby isn't just big. He's also a tremendous athlete, and he's very smart as a help defender, and all of this allows him to be a devastatingly good rim protector. Now, he isn't perfect. Sometimes he's a little too aggressive, and this leads to his opponents getting easy shots. However, you'll deal with that considering how often he makes high-level plays. Victor Wembanyama may not win the Defensive Player of the Year award this season, but I think it's pretty clear that he is winning one in the future. And I think he has the size, mobility, and intelligence to be one of the best defenders the NBA has ever seen.